Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for listening and watching this presentation. This is the task for management research method. And then the task is talking about the research philosophy. What is our choice? And that's so for this presentation up to the next 10 minutes, you are going to listen and watch what philosophy do I choose and why do I choose it, the pro and the cons, and then what is the relationship between the research design. I'm Nia Kuniati Bahtiar. You can call me Nia. So first of all, before jumping to what kind of philosophy that I'm going to choose or to discuss, I'm going to look at a little bit about the research paradigm. So it's actually based on what I read by Brand 2009. It is actually guide the scientific discoveries through their assumption and principles. So there are three kind of the research paradigm, the methodology itself, but far before that, there's epistemology and also ontology and epistemology, and you are going to see it later in the next slides. So basically, in our research orientation in the class, we are discussing about several things that we discussed about positivism, interpretivism, pragmatism, constructivism, and critical realism. We are need to choose which one do we are keen to and also who we are. So here it is among the five paradigm or orientation. I'm so sorry. The orientation I'm choose to be positivism. Why? Because as I read and what I was going through to the literatures, actually positivism aims to generate explanatory associations or causal relationship that ultimately lead to prediction and control of the phenomena in questions, right? So it's so easy. While I'm reading this, I know you can picture it by your own that this is so certain. So this is based on Park et al. 2020. Ontologically, these assumptions is actually for us, the positivist people, there is assumption that actually really exists in the real world, right? So in turn to a suitable instrument, that assumptions need suitable instrument to design, to collect data, to testing this assumption and this reality. Phenomena for positivists are observable and causality between their element is timelessly consistent, right? Also, for the general external world in which human and physical entities exist, these entities are capable of influencing other entities. So as we can see here, there is relationship to each other and then affecting, influencing each other, and also there is a phenomena and reality that need to be tested, and it is consistent timelessly. Lastly, in epistemologically, it explains and predict what happened in the social world by searching for regulatories and causal relationship between elements. So for you all, you are keen into something certain, something relate to each other, and then something that we believe that actually reality exists and reality is independent and out there, and we need to be tested, we need to be measured. We are going to the positivism in my point of view. Apparently there are pro and cons for this one. I find a lot of pros, but I'm not really find a lot of disadvantage or cons. So I will elaborate it here. So first, especially this is suitable for social studies, right? Even though it's not social studies and old studies, this orientation is suitable. Why? As I mentioned before, that we're not only like having reality and then we are creating reality, but we are sure that reality out there, we need to test it, we need to measure it. And then trustworthiness. Why do I say this? We are going to jump to the next one to explain why it's trustworthiness. So actually, positivism is hypothetical deductive model. Why do we say that? Because if we want to make it in order, we start by reading the literature, looking at the theory. What do we have in the literature? After that, we're going to making a hypothesis. So based on the previous study, based on the common studies out there, what kind of hypothesis that we built. After we having the hypothesis, we operating it by testing it, or going further, doing an experimental study about that. And it's a circular cyclist actually. So after that, you're going back to the theory and looking at all, and then you can measure it, whether it's support or on contrary. So that's why it's trustworthiness, because we stand for something, and also we run and we walk based on something, which is the previous literature and the theories. What is the disadvantages for positivism? Most of the positivism are talking about what? What is the effect? What will happen if we decrease or increase something? But rarely talking about how, because it's another orientation, of course. And the second one, it's less interaction with participants. So it means that sometimes in doing this methodology, and then we are into positivism, and we are going to a large group and measuring something. It means we want to measure something, we need a big group to measure it. We send the questionnaire. It means that we do less interaction with them, because they only fill in yes or no or Likert scale, but not interviewing them, not digging how or digging in depth to them. So looking at the orientation, I think that it's always, or it will affect our research design. So it means that who am I, who you are, it will reflect, or it will affect what is the research design you are going to pursue later on. So for example, you can see this. My research orientation, it will drive to what kind of research design. Why do I say that? So in positivism, we always looking for the real relationship, which is why there will be dependent and also there will be independent, right? So if you are positive, you looking at the relationship between two variables or more. So it is like suitable if we want to do the hypothesis testing, or looking at correlation and also reliability. It as I mentioned before, that if you are positivism, you are like want to look at what is the effect, what is influence something. Right? What is influence the reality out there? So that's why you're looking for the correlation and reliability, and also testing the hypothesis. Statistical method, of course, and rigid standardization of theory is to generate replicable output. Why? Because in positivism, we always start with the theory, with the literature. So you're going from there, and after that, you're going to your hypothesis and doing the next steps, operational and also the experimental and the other thing, but you always start with the theory. And also, like I said, it's experimenting and collecting data, and participants tend to be large group. Why? To generalize a finding, it more likely to have a large participant or large group than having a small group only. Because in positivism, we want to generalize something, that the finding is actually valid by using the large group. Okay, the time is almost enough. Thank you so much. That's all my presentation. This is the reference that I use for today. That's all about the research philosophy I take. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, we can discuss more. Okay, bye-bye.